White House. We're joined now by both John Hanna and Aaron David Miller today. John, a former National Security Advisor to the former Vice President Dick Cheney. Aaron's a former State Department Middle East analyst and negotiator. We welcome you both. Aaron, you and I have talked a lot during the last few months about Iran and the United States. I have an idea of how you see things. Haven't John spoken to you as much? So let me start with you and just give me your sense of how you think this is all playing out now that this thing, has been signed, and we've heard what the Vice President said today.
Yeah, overall, I think it's bad, Connell, bad for the United States. It's a bad deal, but it's not as surprising given the way this war went, the way it has ended with Iran having been able for the first time to really exercise in the crucible of a war its control and stranglehold over this critical economic choke point for the global economy, for being able to hold at risk all of our Gulf Arab friends, and for the United States, with despite all its military power, having no real answers kinetically to how we would either reopen the straits or really protect our Arab allies. Therefore, military escalation was really off the table as a viable strategy for the president. And therefore, I think we're left with a deal that at best is very ambiguous and mixed and an awful long way away from the president's promise of unconditional surrender at the start of this war.
So bad deal, says John. Aaron, is it possible it's the least bad option that was here now, or do you not even see it that way?
First, it's really great to be here, Connell, with you and John. No better analyst of Middle Eastern affairs and U.S. policy than John Hanna. Look, is there a redemptive aspect to this? I mean, if flawed war produced flawed MOU, if the administration and the Iranians during negotiations, if the administration could find a way to dilute and or destroy the highly enriched uranium, if they could get a cap on moratorium, a cessation for 15 years of Iran's capacity to enrich, that would, I think, be a step in the right direction. But the notion of transformation, Connell, this is where the Vice President said today that that we're at a really good place, and that the icing on the cake is our effort to transform Iran's relationship with the world.
Right.
I mean, that is a remarkable statement, and I don't know if he's going to shake the hand of Mohammad Ghalibaf, the lead negotiator, if he's going to show up in Geneva. But this man, Ghalibaf, no one is more associated with the brutal and repressive crackdown of Iranians on the street than Ghalibaf. So we are legitimizing a regime that the administration hoped would fracture, or if not change.
Is this idea that they would change their behavior somehow after all of these years, John? Here is the Vice President on the Iranian, behavioral switch that he thinks is at least possible. Here's what he said today.
I've seen skeptics of the deal. People say the Iranians will never change their behavior. Well, maybe that's true. And if so, they don't get any of the benefits of the bargain. But isn't it worth trying? Isn't it worth seeing whether this incredibly weakened position that the President of the United States has put the Iranians under, whether that motivates them to change their behavior?
I'll just use his own question that he threw out there. John, to you first. Isn't it worth trying?
I guess, as long as it doesn't lead you down a disastrous path of total delusion and illusion about who you're dealing with here. And we know who we're dealing with. These guys are as bad as they come, slaughtering their own people, causing havoc in the region, pursuing nuclear weapons, wanting to destroy Israel, drive America out of the region. If anybody takes a minute to listen to how the Iranian Revolutionary Guards and this regime are currently talking about their great victory here over the United States and their full intent to continue forward, doubling down on their military success here to drive America out of the region, I think you're kind of fooling yourself.
Yeah, I guess is how you started. It's it's not convincing. Aaron, how about you? By the way, speaking of Israel, the Vice President was tough on Israel today, I guess, as well. Said something to the effect of, I wouldn't be disagreeing with your ally or being tough on your ally, President Trump. But anyway, your thoughts, Aaron, on whether it's worth trying?
I mean, it sounds remarkably like the logic that, and I wasn't in the Obama administration, that somehow the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the Iran nuclear agreement, which is a transaction, could somehow lead to transformation. And if you marry, and I just don't think that's right. And if you marry that to the fact that real estate guys who negotiate are obsessed with economic bargains. It's like Gaza. We're going to build a new Riviera. We'll put a chicken in every pot and a car in every garage, and the Palestinians will just, with all this new prosperity, will just roll over. It's the same problem with the Iranians. It's ideology. It's their conception of history. It's their grandiosity and their insecurity. These are the things that drive a regime like this. And they want economic benefits, Connell. And they perhaps, John's right, they may agree to something in order to get them. But transformation, grand bargains, no. 100 times.
On the question of economic benefits, obviously a lot, John, has been made of the access to this $300 billion reconstruction fund, the idea you could sell your oil right away, unfrozen assets and all of the rest. But I think it's clear, isn't it, that the president's economic motivations were what drove him here. I mean, yesterday, the Herbert Hoover comparison. Today, gas prices dipping a little bit below $4. I mean, that's what this was, plain and simple, right?
Yeah, no doubt. This is a shakedown racket to pay off the Iranians to try and get back to some semblance of normality in the Straits of Hormuz, which were open and unfettered with any Iranian role before the war started. But that's what it is. That's what these oil waivers are. That's what the banking waivers are, to allow Iran to facilitate the movement of funds back into the country for use in whatever nefarious purposes they have.
Right.
And that's what this early release of frozen assets, billions of dollars, is going to be about, all for the opening the straits well before we have anything approaching an acceptable agreement on the disposition of Iran's nuclear weapons program.
Right. And do either one of you think, real quick, Aaron, first 60 days, that the world will be any different? Any level of confidence?
I mean, maybe there'll be an extension for another 30. You'll be bumping up against the midterms. The notion that the president will go back to war seems crazy. This is one, and I would argue, Connell, this may be phase one and done, like Gaza.
Like Gaza, right.
Out, war over, and the other nuclear stuff will just kind of fade away.
You agree with that, John?
Agree 100%. And the one thing I'd say is I'd add an Aaron Miller to this negotiating team, because this is going to be really rough stuff. And you really need some professionals in there, in that room with the Iranians.
They're already retired his jersey. He's hung up the negotiating cleats, I think. But thank you, David Miller, right? And John Hanna, you're both terrific. So years and years of experience. Thank you both. We have some breaking